What is up, Earthians, Spaceans, and members of the Benneret group? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are going back to the world of Stella and Mobile Suit Gundam Witch From Mercury. Last time, Suletta got friendly with the Earth House. However, she soon learned that people have ulterior motives to getting close to her. She went out on a date with Elan, but he used her to learn more about Ariel. In this episode, Suletta and Elan will duel. We will learn more about who Elan actually is. And Miorine and the gang start a business. So let's get into this. Last episode, Belmeria and Prospera have their reunion. She asks her about Ariel and Suletta, but Prospera ignores her question. Belmeria pushes her a little bit more. That is when Prospera asks, how many pilots did their Gundam have? She walks away. This is important because Prospera knows that Pale Technologies is also using a Gundam under the radar. But most importantly, she knows about Elan. We will get into who he is soon. Everyone is gathered at Earth House talking about the recent duel between Guel and Elan. Now that Elan has won, his prize is to fight Suletta. If he wins this one, he will take Ariel for himself. Suletta still thinks that this is all because he asked Elan about his birthday. At Jeturk House, Guel is getting kicked out for losing too many times. He has no place to go. Shadik is the observer for the duel between Elan and Suletta. This duel will take place in space outside of the front. The stakes for the duel is Ariel if Elan wins. Suletta has yet to decide what her stakes are. Since the duel is taking place outside, she is going to need some thrusters. But Earth House has no money and everyone hates them. They are able to get a hold of some scrap parts and place the labor in the hands of Nika. Have fun, Nika. Earth House is putting themselves in a deficit with these duels. If Suletta were to lose, they will most likely have to go bankrupt. Back at Pale, Elan wakes up. He saw a glimpse of a woman. Belmeria tells him that he moans in his sleep. Suddenly, a young man walks in. It is Elan. This is the real Elan. The one on the bed is the fourth iteration of the Clone Saga. Elan recognizes that he will only last about one or two more battles before the gun format systems take him. The real Elan tells him to cheer up and wonders why he chose to do this, knowing that the Gundams are a curse. He tells himself that he was a curse long before the Gundam. Ariel is out running tests on the new thrusters. They seem to be functioning normal. Suletta opens up to Nika about feeling dumb about falling into Elan's trap. Miorine comes on the comms and tells her that she is very dumb, but she needs to move forward and gain too. Suletta heads to Pale House. She wants to talk to Elan, but not even his housemates talk to him. She tries to talk to him on an open comm line, but he doesn't respond. That is when she sings the happy birthday song. Elan calls her and tells him that he doesn't have a birthday, but she wants to make today his birthday. He hangs up on her. The next day, they prepare for the duel. Ariel and Pharact Gundam launch. Shadik asks Suletta if she has decided her stakes. She says that if she wins, Elan has to tell her about his life. But she says it very awkwardly, so everyone thinks that it is a love confession. The duel begins. As the two begin fighting, Elan tells her that he is merely a disposable pawn. With some distance, Pharact shoots at Ariel. Her gun bits are protecting her, but she isn't going to be able to keep this up forever. Elan goes to permit score 3. He begins destroying her gun bits little by little. He tries to get distance, but Suletta chases and won't let him. Elan 4 goes permit score 4. Belmeria is monitoring Elan 4. His data storm is reaching uncontrollable levels. Elan 4 goes in and destroys part of her thrusters, but Ariel is able to disable everything around her. Once it hits Pharact Gundam, Elan 4 is able to see something in the data storm. He sees a child, and he hears children's laughter. During the duel, the dueling committee was able to record permit data. Elan 4 is distracted. At that moment, Suletta comes in with her gun bits and takes out Pharact's antenna. Elan 4 sees an image of the same woman he was dreaming about earlier. She has a cake. It is someone's birthday. Suletta comes in and saves him. She pulls him out of his Gundam and apologizes to him. He tells him that he does have one memory, someone celebrating his birthday. The next day, it is almost 10 o'clock. Suletta is meeting with Elan 4 as promised. Back at Pale, Belmeria is pleading to the Pale CEOs that Elan 4 still has value. They simply tell her to bring in the next one. Elan 4 sings the happy birthday song as he is incinerated. Suletta is also singing the happy birthday song, still waiting for Elan. The Pale CEOs are meeting with Sarius, CEO of Grassley Defense Systems. They inform him that Pharact is a Gundam. He makes a comment about doing things behind people's back, but the pale girls come in and say that's something that Sarius is used to. This is how I imagine all defense contractors talk to one another. The two plot to work together. Back with the tomatoes, Suletta and Miorine get an invite to an incubation party. Miorine tells them it is a waste of time and only for the top 3. That means that Elan might be there. She now wants to go. Nika, Martin, and Martin's bowl cut decide to attend as well. Miorine tells them this is an event to help facilitate new business ventures, people looking for that seed funding for their shitty tech startup. I know how this game works. Okay, our app is called Flurbo, with no U and 2 R's. We are a cloud-based AI platform that mines crypto right from within your rectum. We truly are making the world a better place. Sure you are, sure. As they walk around, the real Elan is watching them. It seems Elan 5 is not ready, so the real Elan will actually have to do some work. Everyone is staring at Suletta and Miorine. They run into Shadiq. It seems there is a little bit of history between Shadiq and Miorine. Suletta runs into her mother and introduces Miorine to her. The two met during the trial. Suletta goes to get Prospera a drink. While she does, Prospera tightens her grip on Miorine's handshake. She is like, yeah, your dad's a piece of shit. Hey little girl, you know your dad's a piece of shit. Miorine is like, yeah, my dad's kind of a piece of shit. Prospera suggests that she get rid of her childish pride and walks away. While Suletta was getting a drink, she of course makes a mess. Suddenly, the real Elan comes to help her. As Nika goes to get some food, Shadiq comes and thanks her for helping the other day. Elan gives Suletta a flower. He apologizes for not meeting with her the other day and tells her he will return to school soon. Elan leads her to the main event. Miorine is looking for Suletta when the main event happens. Elan leads her onto the stage where they think she is getting praise. But Pale Technologies is using this as an opportunity to blame the Shinsei Development Corps once again for using Gundam. Before Delling makes a decision on what to do with Ariel, Miorine chimes in and starts giving her own pitch. What is happening at this party? It started as a place to pitch, then it became a witch hunt for Suletta, and now Miorine is going to give her speech, which is summed up by the phrase, yeah, but money. She goes on to explain Pale Tech's losses and says she could double that in a new company that she is creating called Gundam Tech. She asks for all investors to help out, but she gets no bites. Her father, Delling, tells her that there is currently no value, so she asks him to invest. With his investment, he can actually give the company value. I feel as though this is a moment of respect, but also a moment where his daughter has also become his competitor. Delling gives the pair of legs a 3% investment. With that, others also invest. They are also able to reach the funding needed to be a part of the Bennett Group. While this is happening, Lauda is meeting with Prospera on behalf of them. They want to renegotiate a former deal. Sarius wonders why Delling is allowing Gundams to exist. After her meeting, Prospera shows up and thanks Miorine. She trusts Suletta in her hands. Suletta wonders if Ariel is a Gundam. Prospera tells her that it is, in fact, a Gundam and apologizes for lying to her. Miorine bursts into the place and says, I run this place now, bitches. They turn Earth House into the headquarters for Gundam. Miorine and Suletta go to meet with Prospera. She wants to get data on the Gundam. Prospera tells her that permit is not stable, so mass-producing Gundams is impossible until they can prove the safety of Gundams and their pilots. All that Suletta asks is why her mother lied to her. She said it were to protect them from people who feared the Gundam. Miorine thinks she should have asked why the Gundam doesn't hurt her, but Suletta says Ariel is family. Back at the Earth House, they need to incorporate the business and are trying to figure out what exactly they should sell. Because everyone hears from Earth House, many of them don't really want to make a weapon that may one day be used against them. Meanwhile, Gwell is living out in the middle of nowhere on the school grounds. Some kids come to make fun of him. Shadiq comes and invites him to his house, but Gwell doesn't want to take charity. Sarius is very much anti-Gundam, but Shadiq sees them as the future and finds his adopted father to be stubborn. Shadiq also tries to convince Miorine to give her new company to him in exchange for resources, but she ain't having it. The next day, Miorine shows Earth House a video from Vanadis. It is a video of Carbo Nabo, who we seen in the prequel, explaining the true purpose of gun format. For medical purposes, the team decides to follow in the footsteps of Vanadis and make this their new business model. Everyone is finally on board with this business idea. As Suletta and Miorine go to get food for the team, they get an important message. It appears Shaddiq has changed the rules to prevent them from going through with the business and reverting all assets to the Benerit Group. Shaddiq truly wants this company for himself. Of course, Miorine isn't going to allow this to happen. And that will do it for this episode. We made the assumption before, but this episode demonstrates that Gundam format was actually banned, not out of genuine concern for the people, but because it would make a few people lose some money. It shows that money truly does speak in this universe. Miorine's whole argument for creating a Gundam-based business is simply money. And it worked. We also learn about Elan and his clones. Next time, Miorine will challenge Shaddiq to a duel. This time, we will get to see a team battle, but does Earthhouse have enough pilots to help out? But that will do it for now, Spacians. Remember, if you aren't winning at the game of capitalism, just create a literal witch hunt. Peace.